last video titled The Costly Habits That Might Drain Your Wallet, we talked about credit card interest being one of those possible things. I was reading through the comments and I saw this. Credit card debt is so stressful. Easy to swipe it, hard to wipe it. And I was like, Jackie, that is genius. I even added some choreography to this quote because it just felt so right. It goes like this. Now you've got to make a face. Ready? Do it with me. You got to make a face like, girl, really? Easy to swipe it. Like, And then you'd be like this. Hard to wipe it. Like, get right in your face with it. So ready, everybody together? Easy to swipe it. Hard to wipe it. Don't do it. Thank you, Jackie, for that beautiful quote. I love it. It is the inspiration for this video. I haven't carried a credit card balance in a little over a decade or so. So this is how I got there. I hope it's helpful for you. The first thing I did was I got uncomfortable with debt. At one point back in the day, I was just using my credit card like it was free. I had about $10,000 in credit card debt. This was pre-Kaden. And it made me feel anxious. It made me feel indebted because I was, and I didn't like that feeling. In the words of the great Florence and the Machine, in the chart-topping song, Shake It Off, and it's hard to dance with the devil on your back, so shake it off. Uh-oh. That's what it felt like, whether it be a devil, a monkey, a burden, in however way you want to say it. I wanted to not owe anyone anything. You have to get uncomfortable with debt and commit to not creating more. Remember, easy to swipe it, hard to wipe it. The second thing I did was I saw what that debt was costing me. I think at its worst, probably my minimum payment was $200 to $300 a month. Just the minimum payment. Bare minimum, $200 to $300. When I let that sink in, I realized I was basically putting in a car payment each month to pay for things that I was no longer even remembering what I purchased. Like, it was months ago, and decisions I made months ago were costing me $200 to $300 out of my budget each month, and it just hit me. Wow. Imagine if I was taking this $200 to $300 and putting it toward my actual car balance and paying that down. So not only would I not have the credit card payment, I wouldn't have a car payment, and I wouldn't have to be putting that money toward debt each month. What would that look like? And I liked the way that that felt and the way that sounded, and I was willing to do what it took to get there. Easy to swipe it, hard to wipe it. Next, I made paying off the credit card my priority. I chose paying off the debt over my immediate wants. Now, you have to remember, this is for a season. You don't have to live like this all the time, but I really thought twice every single time I made a purchase. Turns out kind of later down the line, I still think a lot before I make a purchase, but especially during this time, if you're serious about paying off your credit card debt, you have to have this as your single priority financially, temporarily, until it's done. Always put the extra money, or say to yourself, could I go without this thing, and take that money and put it toward the credit card debt. It might even be like $10 here, $20 there. If you're serious about this, keep your eyes on the prize and throw it all at that debt until it's gone. It feels so much better. You feel lighter, and then you can put that money toward things that you are looking forward to in the future and not just continue to pay for your past. Just thinking about it, it makes me uncomfortable. And if you're feeling the same, prioritize it and make it happen. Got to be patient. It's not going to be overnight, but you'll get there. Easy to swipe it, hard to wipe it. Let me know in the comments, do you have credit card debt right now that you're working on, or are you credit card debt free? Let me know. Okay, great. So you decided, I'm uncomfortable with this. I'm not doing it anymore. You have seen the light. You have seen what this is truly costing you, and you have committed to making a difference. And you have prioritized it. You have gone diligently at this goal, and you have gotten to the goal. You have paid off all your credit card debt. How do you stay there? These last two are the things that I do to maintain this status of credit card debt free so that I don't get into this position again. I'm over it. I'm done with it. This is how I got rid of credit card debt for good and didn't go back. I use my credit card like a debit card, meaning if it is not immediately in my checking, I do not swipe. I am committed to paying off that credit card debt when it is due with no exceptions. No exceptions. I will not carry a balance again. I personally have made it a personal policy. If it is not in my checking, I will not utilize a credit card, period. Because I know. Easy to swipe, hard to wipe, not doing it. And I know a lot of people think like, well, that takes a lot of self-discipline. It does, but it's also part of my routine. If I don't have the money, I have no business spending money I don't have. It's just like, it's sunk in with me and I'm not doing it. And I hope that's helpful to you to just know if it's not in your checking, you don't have it, you're not swiping. Easy to swipe it, hard to wipe it, right, Jax? The second thing I've done to prevent overspending, using the credit card, not having enough to cover purchases is I have built my budget buffer. I talk about the budget buffer on this channel all the time because I am a huge believer in the budget buffer, the power of the budget buffer. What's the budget buffer? The budget buffer, wow, I just said it a lot of times. It is 1 month of expenses in your checking account at all times to cover everything. This is my additional safeguard just in case. I can't even really imagine what I could say that would get me into this position except one time I double paid my mortgage because I didn't know my auto pay had already kicked in. And then I got worried that I hadn't paid it. So I paid it. So I double paid it. But did I panic? No, because there's not one single bill that I have that my budget buffer can't catch. Not one bill that is so large that it would overtake my budget buffer. It's always under, so I don't sweat it. But it's taken time to build that budget buffer and get into that situation where I don't have to panic if I did make a mistake. But like I said, those big mistakes are very few and far between, but it's nice to have that safety net should it arise. As a KSQUAD, as a community here, I'm gonna encourage, if credit card debt is stressing you out, maybe take some of these steps to get rid of it for good and then don't backpedal, stay out of it. I'd like to support getting you guys into a position where you can sleep better at night and not stress about money. That's part of what we do here in the community. So if you want help in building your budget buffer, I'm gonna leave a video for you right here to watch next that will help you build that so that you have your safeguard. Because as you know, if you've learned one thing in this video, you know it's easy to swipe it, it's hard to wipe it, and sometimes we all need a little help.